All right, let's talk about React 19. It's a huge update, and honestly, it's a real game changer. But here's the best part. It's not about learning a ton of complicated new things. Nope, this update is all about one central idea: writing less code. We're going to dive into how React 19 is about to clean up your code base by taking care of the heavy lifting for you. This quote right here, it absolutely nails the entire philosophy of React 19. The whole goal is to let the framework handle all that tedious, error-prone stuff we've been doing manually for years. This frees you up to focus on what you actually enjoy, building amazing user experiences. So you might be asking, what's the magic behind all this? How does it work? Well, the secret sauce behind almost everything in React 19 is the brand new React compiler. And look, this isn't just some small tweak. It's a massive, fundamental shift in how React works under the hood, and it unlocks a whole new level of performance and, more importantly, a better developer experience for us. Let's dig in.
So, the React compiler does a lot more than just make your app run faster. It actually changes the way you write React. It automatically looks at your components, figures out the smartest way to handle re-renders, and just optimizes it. All that mental gymnastics you had to do for performance tuning, the compiler aims to make that a thing of the past.
Okay, so what does this mean for the code you've already written? What can you actually just go in and delete? Let's get to the fun part and talk about a couple of old friends that, well, you're not going to need to call on anymore.
First on the list, say goodbye to useCallback and useMemo. You know the drill, right? For years, we've been so careful to wrap our functions and values in these hooks to memoize them, basically telling React, hey, don't recalculate this on every single render. But look at the code on the left. It just adds clutter. With the new compiler, that's history. It's smart enough to memoize for you, automatically. The result is the much cleaner, much more readable code you see on the right.
Next up on the chopping block, forward ref. Oh man, remember all that boilerplate on the left? Wrapping an entire component just so you could pass a ref down to a DOM element inside it? Yeah, that's gone. In React 19, ref just becomes a regular old prop. You can see on the right how simple it is now. This one little change gets rid of a ton of noise and just makes your components so much cleaner.
Okay, now let's shift gears and talk about a brand new addition that's going to totally change how you handle data and context. It's called the use hook. And this thing is a seriously versatile tool that makes all of our asynchronous code way simpler.
You should really think of the use hook like a Swiss Army knife. It lets you read values from things like promises and context, but you can do it right inside your component's rendering logic before the return statement. What this means is you can often replace those really complex use effect and use context patterns with just a single beautiful line of code. And this slide really shows you the power of use in action. On the left, you've got the old way. The use effect, the use state, all that manual state management for loading and errors. It's a lot. Now look at the right. A single line using the use hook does the exact same thing. It plugs right into React's built-in suspense feature, so you just wrap your component in a suspense boundary, give it a fallback, and it handles the loading state for you. It's just so much cleaner. And the use hook doesn't stop there. It also simplifies how we work with context. Instead of having use context like we see on the left, you can now just use the use hook to read your context values. You see it right there on the right. It just creates a much more consistent way to access resources in your components, whether that resource is coming from a promise or from a context provider.
All right, next up, a complete overhaul of how we deal with forms. React 19 is introducing something called Actions, which is a totally new way to manage form submissions that simplifies state management and works beautifully on both the client and the server.
So at the very heart of this new system, we have actions. And really, they're just functions. You pass them directly to a form's action prop, and that function will handle the submission. It's that simple. And to make working with these actions even better, React 19 is giving us a whole family of brand new hooks to go with them.
So here's a quick look at what these new hooks do. useFormStatus is perfect for knowing if a form is currently submitting, so you can disable the submit button, show a spinner, that kind of thing. useFormState helps you manage form state updates, like showing success or error messages that come back from your action. And then there's useOptimistic, which is an absolutely incredible tool for creating super snappy UIs. Let's take a closer look at that one. Okay, so the useOptimistic hook is a total game changer for user experience. Just imagine you're in a chat app and you hit send on a message. With an optimistic update, that message appears in the chat list instantly, like it's already been sent, even before the server has confirmed it. Then, in the background, the real request goes out, and once the server responds, that temporary UI state gets replaced with the real confirmed state. It just makes your app feel incredibly fast.
So, let's wrap this up. What are the big takeaways from React 19? Well, first, we get automatic performance thanks to the new compiler, which means we can finally delete all that manual memoization code. Second, we get much cleaner async code with the new use hook. And third, we have a way more powerful and modern way to handle forms with actions and that new family of hooks.
Look, React 19 isn't just about writing less code. It's about freeing you up to be more creative. When the framework is handling more of the tedious heavy lifting, you can spend your time and energy on building those innovative features and really delightful user experiences. So the real question is, with all this time you're about to get back, what will you build next?